Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for spending your valuable time with the Adapt 2030 channel. How strong was that Nord Stream pipe? 1.6 inches of steel coated with 6 inches of high tensile steel reinforced concrete. But the real fireworks are on Jupiter heat waves. Suddenly, unexpected 700 degrees Celsius rise in temperature and an expansion of the atmosphere 130,000 kilometers. And oh no, here we go. Fertilizer shortages being talked about for next planting season. We're not even in the harvest season. Latvia, hold on tight. Bin space $20 million for the whole country to store America's grains. Billions for other countries though. Manufacturing CEOs, your price is up and up. Coffee already up and up. Plant A, C, and D. You're probably going to be one of my neighbors. And a feel-good story. Going to the kennel to get the oldest, sickest, sorest dog in the shelter, bringing it home. Look at the love. Going to bring you basically to the ancient past. We are going to start looking at Jupiter again. Jupiter's atmosphere just suddenly warmed 700 degrees Celsius. And on the left side, that's 1,292 degrees warmer instantly. Unexpected. And at the same time, the atmosphere expanded 80,000 miles or 130,000 kilometers. All this going on our own planet, the South Atlantic anomaly also expanding, behaving strangely, connected to the Van Allen radiation belts. Where that inflow is where the South Atlantic anomaly is. And while all eyes are on pipelines, all eyes should be on our solar system, because whatever's affecting Jupiter at that magnitude, which is multiple times larger than our planet, should be worried about where the jet streams, cloud cells, and cosmic rays are flowing, taking things out of their normal plant and harvest dates, in addition to the fertilizer shortages and all the man-made chaos that we're seeing. Do we need to go back to the ancient times and view the skies again? I do believe we do. Something massive is happening up there that needs to be distracted away from. And speaking of the pipelines, I was curious myself, like, how strong are these things? How big are they? And Javier put out the information for us. Steel pipe, the wall of 1.6 inches thick. And we're talking about carbon steel here. And then it's coated with another 6 to 11 centimeters of steel reinforced concrete. 30 centimeters would be a foot. So we're coming down to 4 to 6 inches of that steel reinforced concrete. And get this, each section of that pipe weighs 25 tons after the concrete's applied. Look on the bottom right. That is just one section of the pipe being carried by that truck at 25 tons. That's what got demolished underwater. Good health is our greatest wealth, and I'm really enjoying the benefits of C60 EVO organic olive oil. When I take it daily, my focus is sharper, and I have a lot more energy and endurance. I sleep deeper, wake up feeling more refreshed. C60 EVO's ESS60 is a breakthrough technology making C60 safe for human and pet consumption. It's been called a miracle molecule due to the physical and mental benefits people are enjoying. C60 EVO manufactures ESS60 infused edible oils, skin serums, lip balms, and pet formulas. The results are truly noticeable. Treat yourself and those that you care about with these life-enhancing products. 100% ESS60 purchased directly from the lab at c60evo.com/adapt2030 and use the promo code ADAPT2030 to take an additional 10% off your order. That link's in the description box below. Click and go. And now on with the video. So obviously, where does natural gas go? Where does fertilizer go? Nitrogen price is now seeing a resurgence. Of course, we're going into an even deeper fertilizer shortage this year. This is anhydrous ammonia specific pricing off AgWeb here. Farmers booking in at $1,325. Look at the price though. Fall of 2021, $800. Spring 2022, 1500. So if we're looking at this same trajectory moving forward, then that should be at least $2,000 in the spring of 2022, if available at all. And we can jump around different reports in the United States. Iowa, prices were $700 in 2021, $1,700 in the spring of 2022. That's a $1,000 jump. Now it's $1,400. So if we just keep that same $1,000 jump, it's going to be at least $2,400 per ton if available. And the price per ton indices, StoneX giving us the view here. Up and up in the wrong season. So you can see these prices are going to be so unaffordable for farmers. And if they can get loans, perhaps from the USDA or some private organization that'll pop out of the woodwork to offer them financing to buy fertilizer and farm inputs for the next year because it's doubled and tripled or not available. And then you're in a bidding war, cash war. I'll take it, I'll pay anything. At that point, they're going to pass it along to you and me. And there's no more escape from rising exponential food prices. Now, this is already in the planting season, anticipated for next year. We're in the harvest season now. We're not even out of that, and they're already anticipating these massive shortages, which is downright scary. And what was anticipated prior in late 2021, early 22, coming into the fertilizer deficits this year, have knocked out 20 to 25% of global agriculture. What's going to happen next year? Oh, Latvia on the verge of fertilizer crisis. They're saying we can't even get what we need to put anything in the fields to get ready for next year. Russia and Belarus, that's where they get the fertilizer from. And also, I did not know this. If you look further down the second paragraph there, world market mineral fertilizer, Russia and Belarus are 30 to 45% lower than other world market prices. So they had a captive audience there. And suddenly, because already it is going to be a shock to the system. I don't even know what Europe will be able to grow next year, truly. But then look at the pivot. EU is going to soften sanctions on Russian fertilizers. Convenient timing, as manufacturing CEOs across the world, 87% said they are going to increase prices to offset costs. Which brings me right back into, they're doing it. The farmers are going to do it too. Electrical prices are rising. Everything's going up. At what point is there not enough money to pay for the daily needs? And then at what point do we start repeating chapters of history when we shall let them eat anhydrous ammonia? Or coffee. Same but different. Average cost. Now this is brewing at home, so you want to do that if you want to save some money, right? You're going to cook at home, brew at home, whatever at home. But the cost, top left, 2021, if you're going to do that yourself and you had sugar and milk and the coffee, cost you 22.7 cents. Not even 23 cents to brew a cup up. Now the exact same right now, 27.4 cents. It's like a 20% increase. And think about that. Doing it from home, you should be saving money. So at what point do you say, whoa, plan A, C, D looks like our future because we are going to need to start taking care of ourselves. One of my nearby neighbor's properties from the air, this is how far out I am currently. This is how bad I think it's going to get. That's why I've already pre-positioned myself out in this vast lands here. Thousands and thousands and thousands of acres behind me. I don't know. There's nowhere else to pull back to after here. Tight on bin space this harvest. USDA wants to help. Oh, they're so helpful. Look at this. 3 states, Kentucky, Minnesota, South Dakota, that were absolutely obliterated from derechos. And remember the tornadic event, just that massive, biggest line of tornadoes seen during that time of the year ever recorded. So the USDA announced that they're going to spend $20 million for these farmers in 3 states, yay, to cover 75% of eligible expenses. So let's look to the generous USDA. And how much was sent overseas just this last week in comparison is the question you should be asking truly. Because wherever you see a red dot was a damaged storage facility. And this has all occurred this year to the point of full destruction. Storage facilities, they're not the plant food fires. This is what was destroyed in like super sideline winds at 80, 90 miles an hour, plus all of those tornadoes that came down. So we're looking at South Dakota here. And we can take a look also at Minnesota, experience that same part of derecho and other events that have just flattened, as you can see, many of this grain storage facilities. And then we come into Kentucky, and that dots in a line, that's exactly where the tornadoes were touching down, moving through that incredible 6+ hour event of tornadoes, dozens on the ground for 6 straight hours, moving that direction. You can see where the damage was done. So many that the map would be blue. They've just left the damaged facilities there. Now the thing that I don't understand is, you see how many facilities were completely destroyed to the point where they need to be rebuilt. And a pittance, $20 million for 3 states? That should be per county, per state. The farmers are the most important people out there to give us our food and the food supply. Once they grow it, you can't just leave it out under a tarp somewhere. You need to store it properly for longevity of storage. And how many billions were sent overseas when we're getting 20 million for farmers across 3 states? That's sickening is what it is. And ending on a super positive note, this is such the heartwarming story. Look at the expression and the emotion on this dog. And I'll read the byline to you. Yesterday I adopted the oldest, sickest, and sorest shelter dog. Never forget his eyes. When I went into the cage, he didn't even bother to look. He knew he wouldn't even be adopted. I wouldn't even see him. And that man chose that dog. This is a perfect example of what we're going to be faced with across society, of people as they mentally break down. We're going to have to bring them back and nurture them. Everybody's going to be counting on everybody else during this time. You can feel the vibration of that dog. You can see the energy coming off of it in that image. That's just the most incredible. So glad I got to see this today with all the madness in the world. And please remember, every Thursday night, Ransom Godwin and myself, Revolution Radio Studio A, 10 p.m. to midnight, discussing some of these same issues, in-depth, uncensored, 2 hours at a time. Join us there. I do appreciate you watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I'll see you next time.